Okay, everybody, we're going to be talking about Skeleton Crew, and I'm not talking about Jason the Argonaut's skeletons. I'm not talking about skeletons, bony thingies at Halloween. That almost came out really wrong. But guys, we're going to talk about Disney Star Wars Skeleton Crew. We did the first part. Now we're going to talk about the whole season. We did the premiere, but now we're going to talk about the whole season today here on Two Geeks and a Microphone.
So who talks first? You talk first. I talk first.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show, Two Geeks and a Microphone. I am your co-host, Mr. Stephen Boster, along with the one, the only, the most beardiest, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
Well, welcome to the show today, everybody, because we're going to talk about our thoughts on Skeleton Crew. Now, if you caught the finale this week, today is the 18th of January, so the finale was just a couple of days ago. And if we're going to talk about that, if you've seen it, if you have not seen it, it's going to be spoilerific territory all over the place. I'm just saying. And so we're going to be talking about that, and also talk about what's kind of been in the news about Skeleton Crew also lately. So a couple of interesting things that we want to discuss, and we'd love to get your thoughts on it in the comment section as we get to that point. Mike, do you have anything else for the intro for today?
Just that every time you say welcome to the show, Paul Stanley runs through my mind saying, welcome to the show from Psycho Circus. Every time you do it, I hear Paul's voice.
We should get a clip of that and have it on.
Oh, maybe I'll do that. Welcome to the show. I can do that. And I am wearing my Kiss hat today.
I see that.
It's got the Creatures of the Night button, Destroyer, and I can't tell what the other one is.
It's your other left.
I know.
Just kidding.
I can't see what the other button is still, but yeah.
That's okay. So, well, everybody, we've got a jam-packed show today. So we are going to kind of go through and just go ahead and get things started with, did you have any geeky news today? We have not talked. You know how we save it for the podcast, everybody? We have not talked at all.
Well, I thought we were going to do something special for the geeky news.
All right. Yes. Well, let's do this.
That was your idea.
All right, everybody. We are going to do, I'm pretty excited about this. We are going to do how shall I say? Give me a second. We want to talk about the Daredevil trailer. Mike has not seen it.
I have not.
So I wanted us to be able to talk about this. And so you're going to see Mike's live reaction to this. And so let's see if I can give this a shot.
You know we're going to get banned in 29 different countries for this, don't you?
Yeah, probably, but we're really not monetized, so
Yeah, that's true.
We'll talk over it to see if that happens and all.
All
okay,
right.
All right, here we go, everybody. Let's get this. Let's get this started.
Oh, Matt Murdock kicking some butt already.
Time.
Yes.
Oh, I will admit,
Nice.
it's not entirely unpleasant.
Oh, Kingpin's going to be in it. Cool.
Yes. Yeah.
A lot of
Very
time has
cool.
passed.
It looks
By
good.
the look of it, you've come up in the
Oh,
world.
they're still alive.
Oh, that's good. Oh my gosh, I heard all kinds of
The
rumors.
mayor serves his city. I can see you're not entirely convinced.
Oh,
Can
Kingpin
you blame
becomes
me?
mayor?
Yes.
I can't
Nice.
shake the feeling that you're gaming the system.
Why
Why did you stop being a vigilante?
Ooh.
The line was crossed.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
It's hard to come to terms with a violent nature. Hating the power it has over us.
oh my gosh.
We got blood.
The city can't go unchecked.
Oh, I love the music.
Yes, the music is
That's
great.
so cool.
Peace needs to be broken. And chaos must reign.
Punisher.
My putting the
I
hatchet down.
missed that.
Nice.
I was raised to believe in grace.
Oh,
Wow, who's that?
But I was also raised to believe in retribution.
Oh, the different Daredevil mask.
yeah.
Oh. Daredevil born again. March 4th. It looks bloody, violent, and glorious.
It does. So it seems like it's going to keep in that same tradition as the Netflix style, the more adult comic book style.
Netflix was wonderful. It was a great series. I love the Netflix series. I haven't watched it in quite a while, but man, when that thing was running, I was watching it every week. I loved it. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, last year, they were filming this. Actually, I think they've been filming this for 2 years now.
They have been. Yeah.
Right. And well, at one point, Kevin Feige showed up on the set and halted all production and said, scrap everything you've done. They were supposedly 4 episodes in, I think, out of like 8 episodes. So we're talking halfway through the season.
Yeah.
And Kevin Feige shows up and says, stop production, scrap everything you did, and I want you to start over. Because he wasn't happy with the things he was hearing. Now I don't understand why this doesn't get reported to Feige earlier, so he can he can approve it. But supposedly, from what I understand, they kill off the girlfriend. I think they killed off Foggy, and then they don't even put him in the Daredevil costume until like the 4th episode.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you just took all the elements of Daredevil away. What the heck?
Right.
What is this show? Matt Murdock? I'm sorry. I don't want to watch a show about Matt Murdock, the lawyer. I want to watch Daredevil. So
yeah. Now, is it going to be a movie or a TV series? Do you know?
It's supposed to be a TV series.
Okay, so they're going to do the TV series thing. Okay.
Yeah. So that looks fantastic, though. Kingpin's back. You got Foggy back. I always forget her name. I'm not the biggest Daredevil fan as far as comic books, so that's why her name's not sticking in my head. But
well, you're a fan. You're just not as knowledgeable,
right? I mean, I don't read the comics, so I don't know it as well. Yeah, and then you pointed out Punisher. Oh, that's a great.
Yeah. Now the rumor I heard is he was not going to come back unless the script was good.
Makes sense.
That's John Barenthal. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I hope that with seeing him there, then that means, okay, it's going to be,
he approved of it anyway. So
yeah. So I'm kind of excited. So, it looks great. It looks violent. I mean, that one part where he breaks that guy's arm and you see the arm bleeding and all, I can only imagine what happens next, that it goes pop and,
well, like I said, it looks bloody, violent, and glorious. So
yeah, which is what Daredevil is. I mean, it's one of the grittier,
should be
heroes because it's Hell's Kitchen, it's the Kingpin, and I was excited to see the Kingpin back in this one because he's Vincent D'Onofrio, I think, is the actor.
Yes,
and he's fantastic as almost said Penguin. Oops, sorry, kind of
as
thing.
Kingston.
So, yes, so I think it's going to be most wonderful. So thank you, Mike, for indulging me because I wanted to get your reaction off of that, see what you thought.
Thank you for showing it to me. I had not seen it. So in fact, I had heard that it was out, but I just hadn't gotten around to watching it yet. And so when you mentioned it before we started the show, I'm like, heck yeah, let's watch this. So
let's do this. Yeah. Yeah.
Now we're banned in 29 countries on Facebook, I'm sure.
We probably will be. We should get a copyright strike because we're not, what's the word? We're not monetized kind of thing. So, but who knows?
Yeah, it hasn't stopped them in the past. So,
right.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not worried about it. Whatever.
All right.
Whatever.
Well, on other geeky news, everybody, real quick, just so that you're aware, it is happy 4-year anniversary kind of a thing. So
cheers,
everybody. Cheers. And here's to the podcast getting much more better.
Yes, definitely. Cheers.
A lot of my teammates at work know that my big mantra is 1% better every day. And I tell you what, when we started 4 years ago, gosh, I want to say we didn't know what in the world we were doing.
Now we know a little bit. We still don't know what we're doing.
Right? But we've graduated. So we've started with Podbean. So those who are curious what podcaster that we use, we use Podbean. Been very happy with Podbean. They haven't raised their price in the 4 years at all.
I think they're the only service we've used.
Only service we've used that hasn't raised their price.
Well, I take that back. GoDaddy hasn't raised the price on our email and our website names. So I'll give.
Yes. Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah. No kidding.
Right. And then, so 4 years, if it would be benefit, if anybody's curious about kind of what we use and how we got there on that journey and stuff, just let us know in the comment section and we'll be glad to, especially those who are our Ko-fi supporters, kind of give kind of the rundown of kind of our journey on what we used from microphone to podcast service to audio editing and all those kinds of things. If you're curious, just what we've learned. Streaming services, we've gone through, let's see, we started with Restream. And then they upped their price.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to StreamYard, and we're pretty happy with StreamYard, the easeability of using it. And then it almost doubled in price.
Right.
And we're like, well, we got to look for something else. And so now we're using EV Mux, and it's been a kind of a rough go, I think, for us, because it's not as user friendly or user intuitive, but it is more powerful. We're kind of getting a little bit more on how it works and stuff. So
I finally learned how to get all the lives set up. So I've been doing that each week.
You've done a fabulous job of that, even with Rumble, because Rumble's so different.
Yeah. Well, that one I figured out. I got it down pat. It's just Rumble. I have to wait until the date of recording to set that one, to get all the streaming codes for that and such. Where YouTube and Facebook, I can set that up like a month in advance if I want.
Yeah.
But it's just Rumble's different. It's a different beast.
It's just a different platform.
Mm-hmm. So I just wait until the morning of, and then I set up I get the streaming codes for those and plug them in, and we're
bada boom, bada bing. Right on. Well, also real quick, good morning, nobody for anybody. Hello.
Yes, good morning. Welcome. Speaking of nobody for anybody and our fellow Ripperverse fan, I did finally order my copy of Bloodruth, and I splurged a little.
Yeah?
Yeah, I ordered the foil cover.
You did? Okay, I can't wait till it comes in.
So it's a little expensive, but yeah, that cover is just glorious. I can't wait to get it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. That's exciting.
It's my first foil cover from Ripperverse. I'm excited. Nice.
Good choice too. That's going to be a good one.
I think so too.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. Do you have anything for Geek Dart today?
Yeah. Let's jump onto the Geek Dart.
Go with the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what? The what?
And the what? You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
It's not all he's lost.
Go with the radar.
We only need to hear it once.
Yeah. The funny thing is that, for those who missed, we had a special episode this last week that we put out on was that Thursday?
Yeah, it went live Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday. Yes. So we recorded a special crossover event with the Three Geeky Dads and with Nerdery and Murdery, and we were all talking about the original miniseries, the Final Battle, the TV series that came out right after that, and then the reboot series in 2009. And let me tell you, hijinks ensue. So if you have not had a chance to listen to those, please do. But one of the things that happened, we were all talking about that we already have, Geekdar, or what's your geek flag flying? I'm so sorry. Because the joke was we were going to say gaydar because from Nerdery and Murdery, Jeff said gaydar, meaning geekdar. We caught it. And then I just did a Freudian slip there too.
Well, that's
and
okay.
it didn't mean to.
You were just mentioning a British cigarette. That's all.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yes.
Hopefully we don't get banned in 300 countries for that one.
I am so sorry, everybody. That was not a planned thing. My ears are, when I get embarrassed, my ears are red, but you can't see that. Thank goodness, because of the microphone.
Because of the headphones.
Anyway, that was the thing I was going to say. It was that he and Jeff was kind of putting it out in the universe. He's like, yeah, next time you guys do the show on Saturday, you guys are probably going to say gaydar instead of geekdar.
No, you did a bigger Freudian slip.
I think I did a worse one. I'm so sorry. Anyway, what's on your geekdar?
Sorry. Okay. Let's switch to the other screen.
Please do not do a short of that.
Well, we might go viral if I do. I don't know if it'll help us or hurt us.
Oh my goodness.
Gosh. I think that might have been the funniest thing we've ever done in our 4 years. Anyway. So yeah, my geekdar, I'm going to go with a Christmas present that I got.
Okay. Here, I'll bring that up.
And I'll stick with the rock and roll and heavy metal theme. As you can see, Kiss is right above it. So, Megan got me this for Christmas. It is a pop figurine of Eddie from Iron Maiden. And it is the cyborg Eddie from, Stranger in a Strange Land, or yes. Is it the album Stranger in a Strange Land? Hold on. Iron Maiden. I just want to make sure I'm saying this right before some Maiden fan comes and says, "You're an idiot."
Yeah.
I mean, he might be right, but I may be an idiot. Oh, Somewhere in Time. There we go. See, I knew I had it wrong. Oh my God. The iTunes of this, when you bring it up on iTunes, Eddie's got the laser beam eye and he's shooting it. Oh gosh, it's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's so cool. So yeah, it's from Somewhere in Time. It's the cyborg Eddie, which is on the cover of Somewhere in Time, and it's one of my favorite versions of Eddie. So Megan got me that for Christmas, and as you can see, right above it is my Kiss mouse pad that I've never opened.
Right on.
I've had that mouse pad since like 1997, and it's hanging on my wall.
Excellent. Okay, are you ready for the main event?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's time for the main event. All right, everybody, here we go. We are talking Star Wars, the Disney Plus Star Wars series, doing Skelton Crew. And so Mike and I have saved it for the podcast. Well, almost saved it for the podcast. I asked him the other day if he had seen the finale yet. He said no. And I was like, oh. And I said, it's really good. I thought it was good. And so
I watched it on Thursday. I watched episode 7 and then followed that up with 8 on Thursday. So.
Or I think after 7, it was after 7 that I said, oh, episode 7's really good. And all this, what we talked about. So we haven't talked about the finale part. So everybody, just so you know, what we do is we go through and we kind of give our overall kind of review. We give it a score. We try to be non-spoilery as much as possible. It's going to be really difficult. But and then we give it our score. And what do we want to do for our score this time?
I got it. How about Star Wars action figures?
Star Wars action figures. Okay.
Because when has his...
I know where you're talking. I know. I got it. Okay. Star Wars action figures. Okay, cool.
That's a kid after my own heart, man.
Right on. Yes. Yes. We will talk about that. Yes. In the finale, that's part of it. So yes. Okay, good. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I can start. So we kind of talked about this in our first episode on Skeleton Crew, and how this has a feel of Goonies. Goonies or pretty much any of the 80s, kid-centric movies and stuff, because there was a lot of those in the 80s. Yeah,
it's like E.T. was one where it was kid-centric. You've got
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me. Ooh, good one. Stand By Me was one.
Movie.
It is a really good movie. There was Batteries Not Included. That was kind of a kid's thing too.
I kind of got the feel of Batteries Not Included while watching at least one scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny you brought that up. Nice.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of that kind of a series. Yes, go ahead.
What'd you say,
I concur.
I said Gremlins.
Gremlins? I don't know if I'd compare it to Gremlins. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't really see any similarities to Gremlins, but that is kind of a kid-centric movie. But E.T. has a huge, kind of feel to this has kind of a huge E.T. feel, especially the opening of the entire season with the shot of the overhead shot of the neighborhood and stuff. It just felt like it was ripped right out of Steven Spielberg's E.T. And I love E.T. E.T. is a fantastic movie, so can't be bad ripping off E.T. Well,
yes,
I shouldn't say ripping off, but
that same theme genre style,
homage to E.T.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And I love the pirate feel. I thought it was a lot of fun. I heard some critiques that they went over the top with the pirates and stuff, because there sometimes it felt like, oh, this is more of a pirate movie or pirate TV series than it is Star Wars. Well, I'm okay with that, because we had a lot of pirates in the Clone Wars and Rebels too. So, it's fine with that. I have no issue with that. I love that, actually. I can't really think of anything I didn't like in this series. There is nothing that really struck me as, oh, I don't like this, pretty much everything I enjoyed. So overall, I think I'll give this a 9 out of 10. It was
9 out of 10 action figures.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 action figures. 9 out of 10 Boba Fett's. I don't have one close enough to. Megan, hand me a Boba Fett. I got enough Boba Fett's, I can tell you that.
Right?
Well, maybe I don't have enough.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm a kid at heart, kind of a thing. And he's got it. He's showing his Boba Fett action figure. There we go.
Now this is the newer. What are they? I forget what they call these. The ones that look like the classic action figures.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But it's the new Boba Fett from
the book of Boba Fett. Yes.
The Kenner action figures. Anyway.
Nice.
9 out of 10 Boba Fett.
9 out of 10 Boba Fett. Sounds good. I really enjoyed this series. I definitely would give it a solid 8 out of 10. For it. It was, I think in some parts it was a little drawn out, but that's my argument with a lot of some of these TV
Right.
shows that it's like, this could be a great, fabulous movie for pacing. But when they do it as a series, it kind of, I feel like it gets drawn out a little bit.
But was there anything that you did not like? That's the big
no, there
question.
wasn't.
Okay.
I mean, there's parts of the story that I was like, oh, but that's just storytelling. You know, they got frustrated with, and I don't want to do it in the spoiler. I won't wait till we get to the spoilerific territory on some of that. And not that it was bad, it was good, you know, but I was disheartened by some things, but that's only because I was engaged in the story, if that makes sense. I cared about the characters. I cared
Right.
about what was happening, you know, and people are like, oh, the kids didn't act all that great. I'm like, they're kids. And I think for what they did a great job. I mean, come on, they're kids. How long have they really been acting compared to other actors? You know, I mean, you got Jude Law in there who's been in a whole bunch of stuff, and I thought he did a fabulous job.
Look, anyone who says that the kids didn't do a good job, go back and watch Star Wars, the holiday special, and then tell me that the kids didn't do a better job than everybody in there. So just saying.
Yep. So the question is it worth watching? Yes, it is worth watching. If you like Goonies, if you like the kid ensemble movies, this actually is a good one in the Star Wars universe. I felt like I was in the Star Wars universe. Where Andor, I didn't know if I was in the Star Wars universe really or not. It was just weird. Acolyte just didn't know the lore at all. It was in the Star Wars universe because you got lightsabers and Jedi, but then again, it was just like, this is outside what the lore has been, kind of a thing. It was lore breaking. It was myth breaking. So, I was like, and so I didn't like that. But this I felt like was in the universe. It was what would happen in these situations. Yes, there's there's some elements. Ooh, I almost did a spoiler there. But it's good. It isn't worth watching. Is it worth me paying only $24 for a year of Disney Plus? Because when you pay $24, I'm just going to tell you guys, I thought I was getting a great deal. My life gets sucked away because of how many commercials there are in watching it. And it's like, holy cow, every 5 minutes, there's like a commercial kind of thing. It's like, man. So that's how they sucker you in with $24 for the year. But then you've got to watch all these commercials in the middle of everything. And
I think we've reverted when it comes to television, you know, because I remember the old days of just watching network TV because that's all I had as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And television, you know, half-hour television episode was 21 to 23 minutes with maybe 3 commercial breaks, and then you had 4 commercials per commercial break, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you're looking at maybe 12 commercials within the half-hour period. Of course, we also tried to take advantage of that. Oh, go to the bathroom before the commercial's over.
Right.
You know,
pop some popcorn.
Right.
Get a snack. Yes.
You try to use it wisely is what you do. But now we get with the streaming stuff. I pay the premium for Disney because I don't want the commercials. I hate commercials. But when I do watch something that has commercials, it's worse on the streaming because not only do you get like 600 commercials, they're repeated 300 times in a row. You know, It's so annoying. It's like, come on, if you're going to give me all these commercials, at least give me different ones. Don't give me the exact same commercial. You know, all that does is make me not want to buy your product.
Yeah, because you beat me over the head with it.
Exactly.
You're overselling.
I'm annoyed with you, and I'm going to ignore your product now.
Yeah.
So I wish they would realize that.
Yeah. Well, the other side of what you said too, though, is you would do the streaming services because you were paying to not have the commercials.
Yeah, that's why we all moved to cable, because cable promised, oh, you're pay TV, so you don't have the commercials. Yet then even cable started adding commercials.
Mhm.
It's cable all over again. It's the
It is.
same thing.
It is. Yeah.
The only
Yep.
thing is the delivery. The delivery is different. Instead of coming through the cable, we're getting it over Wi-Fi. That's the only difference between the two. Otherwise,
Yes.
it's just cable all over again. So,
Yep. Yep.
that's my rant about streaming services.
That's all good. Real quick, shout out to Sam. Hey, long
Sam.
time no see. Hey, Sam,
How are
glad
things?
you're with us.
How are things in the down under?
How are things going? It's late for him.
It sure is. We appreciate you, Sam. Thank you.
Yeah, Sam, did you see the new series that just finished, the Skelton Crew? Let us know what your thoughts. We're doing action figures, by the way. So Mike gives it a 9 out of 10. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. Action figures, Star Wars action figures. Actually, let's clarify that. So
yeah, that's true. Not G.I. Joe action figures. Star Wars.
Right. Real American hero. Okay. So are we ready to go into the old spoilerific territory?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, everybody. We are going into spoilerific territory now. So heads up, if you have not seen the last of or any of the Skelton Crew, please go back and watch that. This is where we score it high enough. It does mean go back and it's great. It's good. We enjoyed it. It was worth watching. It was worth paying. And was it worth watching all the commercials through? Whoa, there was a lot of commercials under my plan, but yes, it was. I enjoyed it. Would I watch it again? Yes, I would watch parts of it again, but I would Steven skip through parts, to be open with you, but I would watch it again.
But if you're watching it a second time, I don't think I could say anything about you, Steven, skipping it on a second watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody, if you did see our V episode, I did Steven skip through some parts of watching the old series. I was like, oh my gosh, it's taken 30 seconds for one shot. I'm like, oh, it's drawn out so bad. But I get it.
Oh my God. That was the 80s though, dude.
It was. That is true. All right, everybody. Well, here we go. We are going into spoilerific territory. Heads up, warning is out. Actually, I may just keep that up so people know that it's spoilerific territory, just in case they haven't seen it. Okay.
So how do you want to do this? Do we want to go through each episode 3 through 8, or
I don't know if we have time to do that, but I guess we could.
You sound thrilled about that idea.
I'm not for sure. So here's the he says 2 things you can't avoid: death and ads. Was it even taxes?
Yeah, Sam, I have to disagree. It's taxes, at least in our country. I don't know how the taxes are in your country.
Oh, I knew what he meant. Ads, like in watching the TV.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, that's what we're talking about. I'm slow on the uptake this morning. I have not had enough of my glitch. And by the way, everybody, we do have an affiliate thing with Glitch, where if you go to their site, which is, it's what is the Glitch site?
Glitch.
Yeah, glitch.com. If you put in the code 2geeks, you do get 10% off. Sometimes different times of the year, they're doing better deals than that. But if you're able to support us, did we confirm that you can stack codes? That'd be cool if you could stack codes.
I think Megan said you can.
Okay. So if they're doing a deal, hopefully maybe the 2geeks, the code 2, the number 2geeks, you can get that. I'm having Smurf juice this morning. Normally it's Mike who's having Smurf juice, but I'm having Smurf juice this morning. I think it is my favorite flavor, actually.
I decided to do coffee this morning.
Nice. Well, so still continuing with spoilerific territory. What was your favorite scene? Let's start there. Our favorite scene or scenes.
Favorite scene is going to be jumping all the way to the finale.
Okay.
And the final episode was called The Real Good Guys.
Yeah.
And my favorite scenes when the real good guys show up.
The X-Wings and the B-Wings.
Yes. So when we get the New Republic showing up to help at Atten that's definitely my favorite scene. Great space scene. In fact, if we can switch to
Oh yeah, let me get there. Let me get the. Here we go.
so
Let me get rid of the spoiler effect thing so we can see us. Okay, go.
So in those shots, we saw X-wing fighters, we saw B-wing fighters. I think we saw some Y-wings, and then at one point we even see well, I always called it the Carillion Corvette. Apparently, it's a CR-90 is the technical name for the ship, which would have been Princess Leia's ship in A New Hope and in Rogue One. Oh yeah. A little bit of a trivia there. The Carillion Corvette originally, the model for that was originally supposed to be the Millennium Falcon. And then
and they changed it.
Yeah, they changed it because Space 1999 was happening during the filming of Star Wars. And they saw the Eagle on Space 1999.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, it was just a fantastic ship, by the way. I love the Eagle. Anyway, they saw that and they felt that the Carillion Corvette was a little too close, which in my mind, they don't look anything alike, honestly, except they're both long and slender. That's the only comparison you can really make of the two. But they felt that they were too close in looks, so they decided to change the look of the Millennium Falcon, but then brought the Carillion Corvette back as Princess Leia's ship. So it did end up getting added, even though they didn't want it as the Millennium Falcon. Although I'm happy they made those decisions because I love the Millennium Falcon. It's one of my favorite Star Wars ships. That and the Slave One, and yes, it's the Slave One. I don't care what anyone says. Boba Fett's ship. Screw you, Disney. Yes, I'm very opinionated on that one. And then the Carillion Corvette is a cool looking ship in its own right. However, yeah, I diverged from my talking point. So we got the B-wings here, and you pointed out to me earlier, Stephen, I didn't realize it, but this shot was actually done in Rebels first, and I didn't remember. Yeah. That's a glorious shot. But I love the look of this because the B-wing, it fires off of all four pieces of the ends of the B-wing, and it comes together into one single shot, and it's almost identical to the Death Star, the way the Death Star shoots. Yeah, which I thought was pretty wild. So, I did not.
It looks great in the show.
You ain't kidding. It looks fantastic.
It looks fabulous. That whole sequence, that battle sequence, and shooting down the pirate ship, the big pirate ship, it was just fabulous.
Oh yeah, that is my favorite scene out of the entire series.
I concur.
But I like the space shots. It's Star Wars. You got to have space and stuff like that. I will say, this would have. I can't say it's disappointing. Well, okay, there was a disappointing element to this, and I only say that because when I saw the scene, I looked at Brenda and I went, "Dang! If we wouldn't have gotten the Gina Carano firing, that would have been the Rangers of the New Republic."
Yes. I did not think about that.
Because Cara Dune, right? Cara Dune was supposed to have her own show. Gina Carano was supposed to have her own show called Rangers of the New Republic, where she would star in that. And I guarantee you, this would have tied into that, and those would have been the Rangers of the New Republic. That's what those would have been.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
Well, that is my only disappointment of
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Well, my favorite parts of the whole thing, and I wasn't smart enough to get a picture of it and stuff, but so the ship, the pirate ship that they were on was the Onyx Cinder. So that belonged to the Dread Pirate Robert. I'm just kidding. That's kind of how it was. But they realized they're on the ship of this famous pirate kind of a thing. But in the whole series, the great, oh, that was cool moment was, I would agree. Second is what you just shared. That's my second. It was the whole battle sequence. But it was when they were on the Dread Pirate Roberts. I'm going to keep saying that. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. But the pirate on his home base planet. So the planet, and they had turned his base into a resort, like a pleasure resort or something like that.
Oh,
something like that.
yeah.
And when they were trying to get off the thing in the ship, you thought, oh, it's a great part of where, oh, are they going to get their ship? Are they not going to get their ship? And then it lands there at the trash area. And then there's this big trash compactor, and it gets a hold of the ship. My first thought was, oh man, I like that ship, kind of a thing. My heart was breaking for the kids that their ship is getting torn up. And then when you realize that there was a hole, that when they pushed a button, they said, never push that button. And then they pushed the button kind of thing. All of a sudden you realize that it was just the hull of the ship, and that it was actually a ship within a ship. And then when it pulls out, and now you get to see the Onyx Cinder, how sleek and cool in design it was. I loved that. I was like, I want a model of that one. That's what I want. Because before it was like a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, okay, it looks a little clunky, but it's a pirate ship, whatever. Man, when they pull out, you just got this whole ship of just the sleekness. Pirate Rented, Tack Rented. That was his name. That was the pirate, the Dread Pirate Roberts, kind of thing, Tax Renaud, and his home base, and where he had this treasure. We got to see that, which was pretty cool. But then we found out the treasure planet was at Atten, and I thought that was fun to get them back. And so, okay, that's a way to get them back to their home base, to fight it. I got that, and that was okay. But just to see the ship, the new ship, I was like, that's pretty cool. That's some cool stuff right there.
Oh yeah, they did good as far as the ships go. Alien creatures, I like that. And I have to say, R.I.P. to the werewolf. Shoot, I had his name. I'm trying to find it. I can't think of it. I was so disappointed when he died, though. The werewolf was.
The werewolf pirate.
Yeah, the werewolf pirate, who was a callback to the original cantina scene in Star Wars A New Hope, where there's actually a werewolf. Because George Lucas, for that original shot, he didn't have enough aliens, so they were grabbing just basically masks off the shelf. And so, there's like this devil guy, and then there's a werewolf, and just some basic, monsters and stuff. And that's why in the special edition, those don't exist anymore. He replaced them with CGI aliens. And part of me just prefers the originals. I love that werewolf. That werewolf is amazing. And to see him in this series come to life and just be action oriented was amazing. I loved it. He was one of my favorite characters. I'd have to say favorite characters, probably the werewolf, SM33, which, by the way, that's a callback to Shmi from
it is?
Yes.
From the Phantom Menace?
No, not Phantom Menace, from Peter Pan. Captain Hook's his next in charge, his right hand man is Shmi, and that's a callback to Shmi from Peter Pan, which I thought was a nice little tie-in. That was fun.
That was cool. I had no idea about that one. That was cool.
He was another favorite character. I really liked him, and I liked Win. Win was my favorite out of the kids. I think if I would have been a 7-year-old watching this, I would have most identified with Win. It was said really well by Blake on Rebel Force Radio. He said, "Yeah, Wen likes action figures. Wen likes Star Wars comics. He likes to play with lightsabers. I am Wen. I just see myself in Wen. So I see 7-year-old me as Wen. So, yeah, those are some of my favorite characters."
The your Brenda says Urkel turned bad.
Urkel.
We thought the same thing. The guy played.
Was it Urkel or was it Stefan?
Right. That's true. Sam says, "Good night. Great stream. God bless you as well, Sam.
Yes,
Thanks
you,
for
Sam.
joining
Thanks
us. It's
for
good to
joining
have
us,
you with
buddy.
us. I'm so glad that you said hey. So thank you for doing that. So
I think I'll go with Stefan over Urkel, because I never was the biggest fan of Stefan. I didn't like him. I thought Stefan was kind of a jerk, actually.
Right.
You know, he was kind of, to me, he's just kind of the stuck up version of Urkel. I never cared for him that much.
Right.
I preferred the annoying Urkel over Stefan. So I'm going to say that's Stefan and not Urkel.
All we have to do is hear him say, "Did I do that?
Did I do that?" Yeah, if he would have said that, yeah, okay, we just went into Urkel territory.
Well, I thought he got killed because of the whole, when they were on the treasure planet and they were in the treasure room and it was the whole acid pit, and then it was like fill up the acid pit. I thought they were all there and like, oh my goodness, he killed them all, kind of a thing. But Urkel showed up again, so I was like, okay, he's back. Sounds good.
Although Urkel reminded me, well, whatever his character's name is, I'm so bad. I don't know all the characters' names in this.
What was Urkel's name in Skeleton Crew? Hey, it auto-populated. Jaleel White.
Yeah, it's sad that we all refer. Yeah, Jarrell White was the actor, and it's sad that we all call him Urkel instead of his real name.
Gunter. Gunter is the cyborg space pirate. Yes.
Gunter kind of reminded me of Saw Gerrera, actually.
Oh.
He kind of has a Saw Gerrera look.
You know what? You're right.
And Saw Gerrera kind of fits into that place too, you know? I mean,
yeah.
He wasn't a pirate, but he could have been a pirate if they wanted to make him into a pirate.
Right.
So yeah, I saw Urkel and all I could think of was Saw Gerrera, which is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. I actually thought Urkel's character was good in it. I really liked him. He probably could have gotten a little bit more screen time, and I would have been happy with it. So
yes, agreed. So one of the other things about the show that I really thought was just blew my mind was, there all this whole thing about Republic credits. And then at the end of 7, you see this vault, and this huge vault, and it's just all these little itty bitty gold bars, these Republic credits. And I was like, holy cow, look how much is there. And people were saying how rare they were. We saw that in the earlier in the show, and it was just fascinating. And I was going, there's a ton of these. And then when they say, how many of these do you have? We have 1,139 such vaults all across the globe. And I'm like, what? It truly is a treasure planet. What's going to happen there? So I guess that's where the New Republic gets their cash. That's where they got money to help fuel the economy. Of course, would that then, if you flood that much money in the market, according to economics, would that create inflation? As if they printed more money? I wonder. Just kidding.
Nice. Well, they're not printing it though. I mean, it's
already there.
It's already there. It exists. So I don't know. But somebody else threw out the idea that that's where what do they call the New Order? Is it New Order or the Empire in the sequel trilogy?
The First Order.
The First Order. Thank you. The First Order. Some people are wondering if the First Order invades at Aden at some point, because where do they get the money to build up this huge army that they all of a sudden have in the sequel trilogy? So, I mean, there is that too.
It was death sticks. That's how they did it. You want to buy some dust sticks?
No, I do not want to buy dust sticks. You will go home and rethink your life.
I will go home and rethink my life.
I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's amazing.
Yeah. In all the Star Wars universe, who's your favorite character?
Oh, the entire universe?
The entire universe.
I mean, you're like putting everything together. Original trilogy, prequel trilogy, sequel trilogy, the show.
Whole kit and caboodle.
Holy crap, dude.
You know what? Maybe we should hold that. That actually may be a good episode for us. It's because we probably should do it like our top 5. Who are our top 5?
Brain hurt. I couldn't pick. I don't know if I can pick my favorite out of the entire universe.
We could say top 5 and bottom 5, and the bottom 5 we say everything in the Acolyte. Actually, I did like the one character in Acolyte who was the main Jedi. I didn't like how it ended with him. Kind of how they portrayed his character, because it was a little different than the Jedi Order per se, but I liked seeing him and I thought, these will be really good. So he's not on my bottom list. He's not.
I'll just go to Rogue One and watch Chirrut, and whatever his name is, the blind guy.
Oh, Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen's character. Yes, I was excited to see Donnie Yen. I wish he had more screen time.
He's much more better. Cheers.
Ooh, he's much more better. Cheers. There you go.
I'll take Donnie Yen any day. Yeah.
I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me.
With me, yes.
Have you ever seen Donnie Yen in Ip Man, the Ip Man series?
I have not. I've been told I need to watch it. Actually, Theron was like, dude, you got to watch Ip Man.
I've watched all 4. Because I loved it. I loved it. The story's okay. The first story is based on a true story. I mean, it's embellished. But the choreography, the fight sequence choreography, if you're into martial arts, you need to watch those. For those who really like those, it's worthwhile. You can Steven skip to the fight scenes if you want, kind of a thing. But each episode got, the best one is the first one, the second best is the second one, the third best is the third one, and the fourth best is the fourth one, if that makes sense. If you had to rank them.
Gotcha.
So, but the choreography is fantastic. Sorry, so I digress.
Supposedly they're coming out with Rush Hour 4.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Chris Tucker's supposedly coming back, and they're going to do Rush Hour 4. So, Jackie Chan.
You can't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Nobody understands the words coming out your mouth.
Yeah, something like that.
I love the original Rush Hours. They're amazing.
The original was really good. The second one wasn't bad.
And Shanghai Nights with Owen Wilson and Jackie Chan.
Mm-hmm.
Those are amazing too.
First it was Shanghai Noon, and then it was Shanghai Nights. Yeah, those were fun. Those were fun with Jackie Chan.
Mm-hmm. And then of course Jackie Chan's coming back in the next Karate Kid movie too.
That's right. That was in the trailer where they come together. Yeah.
That one blows my mind. How are they doing this?
Right? I'm curious to see how they make that happen. So, okay, we digress. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, we squirreled up into martial arts. Sorry.
And all kinds of stuff. So we were talking about Donnie Yen, Rogue One, but we were talking about the different characters and stuff. So it may be another show where we talk about our top 5 Star Wars characters and why.
We might have to pick types of characters. That's going to be hard.
It'd be a good discussion. That'll be a good discussion. It'll be great for people to tune in and give us their opinions too. So,
okay.
All right. Anything else about Skeleton Crew?
Ooh, you know what? We do have Star Wars Podcast Day coming up very soon.
Oh, we do. I forgot.
I actually haven't told them that we're going to participate, but that could be a good episode for the Star Wars Podcast Day. So we'll put that on the back burner for that one.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Are you making a note? Stephen?
Yes, I will make a note.
You are my note taker, so
I do. Yes, let me get that in our Notion board real quick.
Right.
just so I don't forget. Thank you for the reminder. Anyway, anything else about the I feel like I'm missing something that we were going to talk about. Something.
Okay, something I want to say, because when we did our first episode, we talked about KB. Was it KB? Is her name KB?
Yeah, I think so.
The one with the Geordie glasses.
Yes.
I was a little underwhelmed with her in the first 2 episodes. I felt she was very cold, and I wasn't the biggest fan of her character in the first 2 episodes. She warmed up as the series went along, especially when we got that adventure with just her and Wen together.
Yes, good point.
When they split up, yes. And then we kind of discover that she's basically Lobot from Empire Strikes Back.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. She's more or less Lobot. She's like a cyborg, is what she is. Which I thought was kind of cool. And she warmed up and won me over with that episode, I have to say. I liked her a lot better. I liked her much more better.
Much Cheers. More better. Cheers. Boy, we are getting caffeinated this morning. Whew.
My coffee is good today, too.
Right on.
Second one this morning. So that was something that I thought improved from the first couple episodes.
She seemed to be more involved as the show continued.
Yeah.
More engaged, or more. She was real quiet at the beginning, and then when that happened, she seemed to have more of a part of the quad of kids to, what they were doing, and being more involved in the story itself.
Something else that I enjoyed, and some people may think this is silly, but we had those points. There's a few points in this series where the kids are actually being kids, and they start goofing off and playing, and I loved it. I was like, yes, they're being kids,
Yeah.
They're not trying to be adults. They're not trying to be overly serious, and all this stuff. They're actually being children.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of refreshing, because it actually showed kids being kids. And that's not something we get in a lot of these. I mean, even if you go back to Goonies got very serious about what was going on and what they were doing. And I don't think they had any moments where they actually got to be kids. And it actually gave us a few points. Even to the point where it was annoying. What's his face? The quote unquote Jedi. Oh, we got to talk about that too. Yeah, it was annoying him, and I thought that was cool. And then we also had that nice moment with him and was it Wen, who was all bummed out? I can't remember. We had the moment where he kind of had the dad moment and stuff, which was really awkward for him, but it made for a really good scene. I really enjoyed that too.
Yeah. So Jude Law's character was Jod Nanawood.
Jod Nanawood. What a name.
Right.
It's definitely a Star Wars name. Jod Nanawa.
Nawood.
Jod. No.
Some people only hear wood.
Oh, okay.
I'm just rolling in it today.
Yeah, you're rolling it, all right.
Yeah. I will say this, that a couple of things that came out in the news was just recently, like in the last couple of days, they said the show Skelton Crew did not even make the top 10 of Star Wars shows.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. And Book of Boba Fett got 384 million minutes viewed. They're doing it by minutes viewed. And this Skeleton Crew's at 382. So it just missed it. But here's the other part about it. I think somebody else said that Andor was like that as well. And Andor has been picking up viewers. in other words. So it's gotten more minutes that have occurred since it came out. And the creators of the show in a recent, I don't know what the article, where it was. Oh man. Was it Variety? Oh, I can't remember, but they said they are looking towards a season 2. They have planned a season 2, and they're excited because they're seeing that trend that more people are picking it up now to watch it. So that's why I think it's going to be one of those that I think is going to be like Goonies, where it creates. It probably didn't do great at the beginning, but it seems to have a cult following, kind of like Serenity, or the not the movie, but the show Firefly, where you didn't know that's a whole nother story about Firefly, but it creates a cult following later on. I think this is going to be one of those, is where Skelton Crew becomes that more and more people are like, oh, okay, this is okay to watch. Because I think Acolyte killed a lot of what's coming in Star Wars. Because like, if this is what you gave me for Acolyte, why should I bother with Star Wars? That's how I felt. Because I was like, I canceled my Star Wars or my Disney Plus subscription. I was like, nope, I'm done, kind of a thing.
I saw somebody comment that they feel that Skelton Crew suffered the Last Jedi syndrome, meaning, everything that came out after Rogue One came out right after. It's 6 months after The Last Jedi, and Rogue One did terrible in the theaters. And the reason being was nobody liked Last Jedi, so they boycotted Rogue One. I think Rogue One is a superior film than Last Jedi easily. However, I think they're right, because the comparison here is you just had the Acolyte, 5 months ago or so, 5-6 months ago, and then we have the last our Skeleton Crew come out, and I think the Skeleton Crew is suffering from the repercussions of the Acolyte series. That a lot of people said, no, I don't want to watch it because of the Acolyte, because I didn't like the Acolyte. I didn't like the Acolyte either, and I didn't have high hopes for this, honestly. It actually kind of wasn't on my radar, but then I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. It looks kind of fun, and I'm glad I gave it a shot. I think it's a fun Star Wars series.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate that it's suffering from that same thing. Hopefully Disney is learning lessons from this, and let's hope Mando and Grogu movie is going to be really good.
Oh yeah.
And hope that they don't put anything crappy out just before it, because it's going to kill it if they do.
Yeah,
it will totally destroy it.
What's next on the Star Wars plate?
Shoot, I don't even know.
Star Wars. How am I going to say this? Star Wars new release schedule.
Now, while you're doing that, I want to know how you felt about Jod, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Jod nah.
Right. We discussed in the beginning whether he was a Jedi or not, because he apparently has control of the Force. He can use the Force. My issue was, okay, if he's a Jedi, how come he didn't break himself out of the brig? Because a Jedi would have been able to break himself out of the brig. I didn't understand that.
They asked him that. They asked him that. In the show.
They did. They did. How did you feel about the explanation?
Just because there wasn't a ship to get off of, I thought, okay, whatever. Well, he said they didn't have a ship to escape from, or they knew, or something like that. And I was like,
well, I'm talking about his reason behind knowing, quote unquote, knowing the Force, because his reason behind knowing the Force was actually he started training as a Jedi. He did
start training.
And then his master was killed in Order
66.
Right.
Yeah. And they made him watch.
Right.
Which I thought was weird, because I thought they would have killed him too if he was a Padawan.
Man, maybe he just wasn't far enough into his training that they didn't think he was anything
to worry about.
Yeah, to worry about.
He wasn't.
He might have been a waste of time to him.
Maybe.
That's my reasoning behind it. That goes into my head canon right there.
Yeah. Let me go to IGN's got a upcoming page.
I mean, I was pretty happy with that explanation. I thought that was a decent explanation of how he could use the Force, but he didn't have that much power. And then I love how he tried to use that on Atton, oh, I'm a Jedi. Oh wait, no, I'm a an ambassador from
emissary or whatever, right?
Emissary or whatever from the Republic, and blah blah blah. And they weren't buying either one of them. I thought that was great.
Yep. So here is the list according to IGN. Star Wars Andor Season 2 comes out in April of 2025.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Wars. That. Yeah, Star Wars Visions Season 3 sometime in 2025. Jon Favreau's The Mandalorian and Grogu movie, May 22nd, 2026. Star Wars Ahsoka Season 2 is in development. Taika Waititi Star Wars movie in development. We'll see. James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi movie in development. Now, I will say this. James Mangold, I do like his stuff. I did enjoy the Logan movie.
Not saying that I don't, not saying anything against him. I just don't believe Disney.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with him whatsoever. It's all Disney.
Yes.
Anyway, go on. Sorry.
James Mangold. Okay, wait. Dave Filoni's Mandoverse New Republic movie in development. Sharmeen Obaidi-Chinoy's New Jedi Order movie. I think that got canceled. That's his in development. Simon Kinberg's Star Wars trilogy in development. Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie, status unknown. Mandalorian Season 4 and Book of Boba Fett Season 2, status unknown. Star Wars Lando movie, status unknown. Star Wars Rangers of the New Republic TV series, presumed canceled.
That's canceled.
Untitled J.D. Dillard Matt Owens movie, presumed canceled. Ryan Johnson Star Wars trilogy, presumed canceled. Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie, canceled. Dave Benioff and D.B. Weiss's Star Wars movies, canceled. So that's kind of the rundown. You're right. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right. And I heard that there was going to be another season of Mando, and then we get the Mando and Grogu, and it's been insinuated that Mando and Grogu is going to hinge off of whether the last season of Mando does well. I don't know what the truth is behind that. I have no idea. I almost could see Disney doing something like that, though. Saying, look, okay, we're going to give you this shot, and if this doesn't do well, you don't get the film.
Yeah.
I could see them doing that. Although they seem to be shooting themselves in the foot, so I blame them.
Yep.
First of all, They need to stop this. Okay, we're going to have a movie out by this date. We're going to have 80 movies out on these dates. They need to quit doing that. Just say, hey, we have possible plans for this and this, and only give a few. Don't give all these tons of titles and get fans' hopes up, and then just take everything away. Just give a few things. I have to say, Lucasfilms before Disney was much more better.
Ooh, much more better. Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
At keeping the lid on things and keeping things secretive. Disney can't hide a secret to save their butts. They can't. They're terrible at it. And they sure could take some lessons from George Lucas back in the old days. How he was so secretive about everything, I mean, Return of the Jedi, it's famous now that was the crew went into the Redwood Forest in California to film the Endor scenes, and they were all wearing these jackets that had I can't think of what the logo was, what the title was. But they had a title of a quote unquote movie. It was supposed to be a horror movie. and everything. If you could find anything with that logo, it's worth big bucks actually. But they were trying to hide everything from everybody and not let them know what they were doing. Now, everybody in the nearby town knew exactly what was going on. They're like, we ain't buying this. This is Star Wars. But they did a good job at hiding it. And Disney doesn't do that. Disney just throws everything out there. It's basically like Disney's throwing an entire thing of spaghetti at the wall and seeing which, what noodles will stick and such. Mm-hmm. And you know what happens when you throw an entire colander of spaghetti at the wall? You only get a few that stick. So yeah. The whole thing ain't going to stick. So anyway.
Yep. All right. Well, we're wrapping up, everybody, on the show where we talk about Skeleton Crew. Man, I hope you had a good time today. We did, because we had saved it for the podcast, and there was so much to talk about. So we appreciate it. Also, thanks for joining us as we did the kind of surprise, hey, let's watch the trailer for the new Daredevil movie and or show. And it was great. It was great to do that. It was fun watching your expressions, Mike. So well, with that, everybody, we already talked about Glitch. Make sure if you go to Glitch, that's one of our affiliate sponsors. And if you use the code 2Geeks, you'll get an extra 10% off of your order. And it's good. It actually is good. Yeah. I'm doing Smurf juice today, like what Mike normally does Smurf juice. So, which has been pretty good. You can check us out at our website at www.2geeksmike.com, www.2geeksmic.com. There you will find all things Two Geeks, where we talk about our upcoming shows and what's happening. If I keep it updated, I usually keep it updated. If you want to give us a shout out or you just want to connect with us and ask us any questions about what we're doing and stuff, check out check out the email address, show@2geeksmike.com. Mike does a great job of keeping up on those as well. If you want to check out our merch, you can go to it through our website, or you can just go directly to 2geeksmikemerch.com. That's the number 2 GEEKSMICMERCH.com. And if you want to help support us, we use that just to kind of pay for doing the podcast, for really is what the money goes to. And so it's Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/2geeks. And you can also get there through our website as well. Mike, anything else?
Just that every time you say MIC, I hear MIC.
KEY, I fight it every time, just so that you know you're absolutely right.
Oh, it runs through my head every time you say
Yep.
It. Oh, dang, we could get a copyright strike for that one too. Oh, we're on a roll today, aren't we? Anyway, sure if you made it this far, please make sure and give us a big thumbs up, a like, wherever you are watching this, whether it be Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, or Rumble, any one of those, and make sure that you subscribe on any one of those too. That way you will get notified of every time we go live. And speaking of going live, we go live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You do the math on the rest, because I don't like math. All right. Anything else, Stephen? Any
nope.
Final words, funny anecdotes, blah, 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 blah?
Nope. We are scheduled to do, today is the 18th. I think we've got Crisis Part 3 coming up, Invincible Season 2 coming up, the movie Love Hurts coming up. And then for Star Wars Podcast Day, we're going to talk about our top 5 Star Wars characters. So that's what's coming up in the future, everybody.
Okay. Maybe not necessarily in that order, because we get
correct.
Talk to Theron about Crisis Part 3. Anyhow, so please make sure and do not Steven skip this episode, because we are much more better than the rest.
Cheers.
Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
may the force be with you.